you know what, Crash? I'm definitely looking forward to your new game. Because I love your games, and you're definitely looking into my eyes on how good it is.
Yahoo!
Oh, you know what, Crash? I think that I couldn't even like Crash Bandicoot 4 more. Is there any more information that I could get more pumped about this game? What? My God. Are you really paying and bribing Toys for Bob to make your game better? Oh, hello there. I'm very sorry to say this. And whenever I'm not getting stressed because people are going down to the beaches and making us go lockdown because of their deliberate actions, I myself am playing video games just to help me relieve my stress because of this huge lockdown. And of course, whenever it's not a game or any specific type of game, it's either got to be Animal Crossing or any of the games that I actually have made my stress go down in order to cope with this lockdown. But there's one game that I never ever would ever want to put above than anything else. And this because of this little Banuka right here, Crash. Crash Bandicoot NC Trilogy and Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled has been two fantastic remasters of some of Crash's most successful periods ever. In my honest opinion, it's definitely one of the best ever things that Crash Bandicoot could ever wish for in order to revive his gaming career. With that being said, our folks, I'm definitely looking forward to the new Crash Bandicoot 4, and you know what? This little Banuka really deserves the success that he needs. There's none other game that I would like to play more than ever than Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. I played that game so many times, so much, and I actually think it's one of the best remasters of a kart race I've ever played. In fact, it's much better than in fact, it's much better than that of Mario Kart 8. And definitely one of the best kart races ever. And so many people just keep on deliberately ignoring it, in my honest opinion. Which is why, folks, I decided that it's the time that I would do this. But some of you may not know what I'm talking about, so let's take a look at the subject at hand. Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled is a faithful remake to the original CTR that was originally released on the PlayStation in 1999. 2 decades later, we got a remastered version by Beanox and Activision, and it is an absolute faithful remake, in my honest opinion. Without doubt having new features, newer tracks, newer characters, and a lot of bonuses for both Crash Team Racing and also Crash Nitro Kart. And what even was better was the post-launch DLC that was released in the form of the Grand Prix mode. You know, 8 special events that ran from July 2019 last year to March of this year, 2020. Of course, around the time when COVID-19 struck the whole world. But in my honest opinion, it was absolutely nice to see a lot of different themes and special events and opportunities for people to unlock newer skins and to unlock a whole heap of bonus stuff, including newer characters, fan favourites, and brand new characters that were never seen before, as well as characters that a lot of people basically thought were obscure. But with that being said, the Grand Prix were fantastic and without doubt an incentive for players to keep going, even though some actually suffered from burnout, but it was worth it in the end to get all of the kart skins and the champion cards. And before anybody else accuses me of being a filthy liar, I myself actually got all of the skins from the Grand Prix modes in the PlayStation 4 version, and also look at the Switch version, I've got all of them in Switch version 2, which of course proves that I myself am of course a warrior who never gave up. But let me just also reiterate that not all Grand Prix are good. Some of them were underwhelming, and even some really disappointed me to a degree that they were put in there just for filler content only, and so badly missed potential. But before we do start this list, let's lay down a few ground rules, shall we? Number 1, the order of the list is based on my experiences of the Grand Prix. Number 2, each placing is based on the content of the Grand Prix and the designs of the stage. Number 3, please understand that not all the Grand Prix are bad. It's just that some Grand Prix are more disappointing than others. And number 4, and most important, that you also understand that this is my opinion and it should be treated as such, not a fact. If you do have an opinion on the Grand Prix, then that's fine, but all I'm asking is that you respect my opinion based on what I'm about to say right now. Starting with Spyro and Friends. Now please hear me out, I don't hate all of the Grand Prix. No, I don't think there's no bad Grand Prix in this list. I just think that this one is just unremarkable. And this might sound harsh to some who are watching this video, but please hear me out. Spyro and Friends Grand Prix is just mediocre, and I just felt that it was lackluster compared to the rest of this list. You'd think that Spyro would get special treatment considering the success of the Reignite trilogy, but sadly this isn't the case. There are good things about the Spyro and Friends, such as the addition of Sparks as an invincibility mask, the elemental wheels and paint jobs, and the fact we get Spyro, Hunty and Nasty York in this one. But of course there are some fan favourite characters that were left out, like Elora, Ripto, Bianca and even the Sorceress. I mean, why omit those characters from the series when they are fan favourites? And let's not also forget that the skins are just absolutely incredibly uninspired. Like Evil Coco and Evil Crunch? Come on, this isn't Mind Over Mutant. And let's not also forget that the Spyro circuit is without doubt one of the most mediocre designed tracks ever. It's definitely my least favourite of the DLC tracks. And this is a shame because Spyro being in the Grand Prix is a great idea in concept, but sadly a massively missed and wasted opportunity, sadly. Ugh. I think Spyro is best off sticking with platformers, to be fairly honest. Gas Moxia Grand Prix. Now, I don't hate this Grand Prix at all, it's just there are some elements that sadly keep it from ranking any higher on the list, and it is also a sad way to end the Grand Prix that was a particularly good feature of the game. Surely there are good elements to Gas Moxia Grand Prix, such as the space skins, including the Space Pirate skins for the Nitro Squad, all 5 of the Bandy Ladies. We have great karts, we have great wheels and paint jobs, the addition of the Velo time trials, and even Emperor Velo the 27th being a particularly good addition to the game. But being Gas Moxia, you think that Nitrous Oxide would actually get a fantastic new skin, except he doesn't, which kind of really wonders what if this was false advertisement. Plus, I felt Drive Through Danger, despite being visually pleasing, is without doubt a real complicated and convoluted and super cryptic track to go through. I mean, I tried so much to get into grips with it, and I just couldn't even get into it. I mean, either it's because of my driving style, or because it was just too twisty and just too hard to master. Ugh. Yet again, a sad way to end the Grand Prix and another missed opportunity, if you ask me. Neon Circus Grand Prix. Now, this is where things do tend to get a little bit better, and this is going all into the right direction, to be fairly honest. Neon Circus introduces us to 2 characters that were obscure in the series, like Pasadena Opossum and Ebenezer Von Clutch from Crash Tag Team Racing. The incredibly well-designed skins of the Circus gang, including the Nitro Squad, having Cannibal Nash, and even a Clown Cortex. Absolutely fantastic. Fantastic, well-themed karts, neon wheels and neon paint jobs, and the addition of a ring rally mode that has been permanent since the release of this Grand Prix. But my biggest problem with Neon Circus has 2 things. 1, Koala Carnival is just another linear design track. Now, I do dig the circus design, but the track is just too easy to master, and the fact that the Oxide time is one of the easiest of the DLC tracks to master if you know how to have the Ultra Sacred Fire to be kept long enough in order to beat it. And the fact that Koala Kong is in it. Ugh, I hate this guy so much, considering my track record with him in Crash Bash. Ugh. Back in Time Grand Prix. Now, this might be a bit harsh for this Grand Prix to be ranking this low, but I have some reasons that keep it from ranking any higher on this list. Back in Time actually introduces one of my favourite DLC tracks of the game, Prehistoric Playground. The fact that it's well designed and has a lot of multiple pathways in some sections of the track make it one of the most fun tracks I've ever played in any of the DLC tracks of the Grand Prix. That, and also we have some amazing nostalgic skins that are based off Back to the Future and other time travelling tropes found in fiction, really makes this really fantastic. And the fact that we also have some nostalgic karts and lava rock wheels, which of course one of them actually looks like the DeLorean from Back to the Future. But the reason why I don't rank this higher than 5 is the inclusion of baby characters. Not that I'm really complaining that much, but I think they were a little unoriginal if you ask me. No offense to anybody who likes the baby characters, but that's just how I feel. Nitro Tour Grand Prix. Now this is where it all started. Nitro Tour Grand Prix introduced us to the Nitro Squad, who consists of Torna Bandicoot, Crash's girlfriend, and the 4 former trophy girls from the original Crash Team Racing, Ami, Megumi, Liz, and Isabella. The Nitro Tour Grand Prix had gone off to a good start, with of course the skins, including Biker Crash, Biker Tiny, Racer Crunch, the Motorsport versions of the Nitro Squad, and even Cortex in a Pharaoh skin. And I absolutely dig the karts, the Twilight wheels, and even the country flag stickers, and they're also the design of the Twilight Tour, which of course combines both Egyptian and Arabian times from Crash Bandicoot 3, which of course is a very nice touch. The only problem I have with Twilight Tour is the fact that it pretty much has linear design and lacks shortcuts, and that's what keeps Nitro Tour from the top 3. But other than that, Nitro Tour, a great start and definitely something that could have deserved the podium, but was overtaken by the last 3 we're about to get to. Spooky Grand Prix. Now this is more like it, folks. A Grand Prix based on Halloween and based on spooks and scares and chills in the air. Nina's Nightmare is a brilliantly designed track based off the elements of Halloween, the characters Komodo Mo, Embryo and Nina Cortex, as well as having a foray of great Halloween themed skins, especially Witch Torna, Dark Coco, Werewolf Tiny, and many others, make for a fantastic well-themed playthrough alongside spooktastic karts and real chilling spectral paint jobs and wheels, as well as a permanent ghost chase mode that is permanent on Nina's Nightmare. This is a fantastic, brilliantly implemented Grand Prix, but sadly though, it only makes the 3rd spot because the last 2 Grand Prix I'm about to get to actually just raced past it for the other 2 places of the podium. But Spooky Grand Prix does good enough to take 3rd's top spot, so at least that's something that matters, right, for Spooky. A fantastic Grand Prix from start to finish. Rustand Grand Prix. Now we're talking, folks. Rustand is a post-apocalyptic Grand Prix with a track that is based on the post-apocalypse with elements of other tracks from the game, as well as some tropes from the other games in the main Crash Bandicoot universe. There are the skins of the original 8 lineup of Crash, Cortex, Tiny, Coco, Engine, Dingo Doll, Polar and Pura alongside Nina, as well as the MMXX character also being starred Grand Prix. Alongside that, there's also the karts, which are based off post-apocalyptic karts, as well as tag wheels and Rustand paint jobs, as well as a brand new Golden Wumpa fruit mode that has been put in permanently in every track on occasions. This is the Grand Prix that introduced grinding for those who are struggling to get the skins, and if you get a Golden Wumpa, it's 200 coins. Basically, a blessing in disguise for everybody who doesn't even want to use the microtransactions in the game. And thank goodness for this, because I think that Rustand did an amazing job. But sadly though, one Grand Prix only tops this one, and it's a shame considering that Rustand is an excellent Grand Prix. And based on post-apocalypse, I think Beanox did well with this Grand Prix. Winter Festival Grand Prix. Come on, you knew this was coming a mile away, weren't you? Winter Festival is a Christmas-themed Grand Prix which has a track that is designed with a gingerbread village. And it's absolutely well designed, full of shortcuts, opportunities to get past the competition, and absolutely a brilliantly and visually pleasing track to the eyes. And introducing characters such as Yaya Panda, Hasty, a new character, and our presenters Chick and Stew, alongside fantastic skins such as Reindeer Crash, Elf Coco, Winter Torna, and many others, as well as some fantastic winter themed karts and fantastic pastry wheels and pastry paint jobs. And to be fairly honest, I absolutely think that this was a heartwarming Grand Prix that really was amazing. It was nice to have Yaya in this game in her console appearance. And unfortunately, while I didn't appreciate having Rillaroo, once again thanks to Crash Bash, I think Winter Festival did much more than enough to take the #1 spot for all the Grand Prix ranked from worst to best. Winter Festival, definitely the best of the best. Thanks so much for watching this episode of the Superfresh Review Show. Please remember to give this video a like, share it with everybody to spread the word of my new reviews. Please give this a comment and tell us what you think about the game that was reviewed today. And please make sure you subscribe to the channel for further Superfresh reviews. With that being said, I'll see you Superfresh Squiddos later.